Welcome back to the Breakfast Show 2. With Easter near, we figured what better than to have a bunny on the show this morning, and maybe a little bit hard to see. We had to work around this bunny so that he didn't hop off the table. This is John Watkins from Watkins Wildlife Rehab. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. This is so wonderful.
Thank you.
So first, what is Watkins Wildlife Rehab?
We're a rehab. We've been working at this since 1969, and we take care of anything and everything that people bring in. We've had bears, alligators, hawks, owls. We have a lot of eagles that come in that we get back out to the wild. We turned one loose about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We've got another one that will go out in a couple more weeks. We find homes for the ones that can't go out into the wild, like the bears and things like that. The bobcats and stuff like that goes, you know, we're able to take care of them and get them back out into the wild. We're federally licensed and state licensed to do what we do. We have special formulas for these animals. A lot of people try to raise them on their own, and some people manage it, but not always. And these little guys here are very hard to work with when you get them little tiny babies. Yeah. And so my wife has special formulas that she buys from a company that furnishes zoos and things like that, like mice and stuff like that. We go through about 1,800 mice every 2 weeks for hawks, owls, coyotes, bobcats, foxes, and all kinds of stuff like that. This little guy here is about a week away from being released. We'll get, I don't know, last night we got 4 baby raccoons, and we got we've got squirrels, and we've got little baby chipmunks that we're raising that are real cute. But we get them all back out in the wild. We don't make pets out of any of them. Everything goes back out into the wild if at all possible. Sometimes we get some animals in that they're too sick or too badly injured, and so what we will do with those is we'll euthanize them unless it's an endangered species. And of course then, you know, years ago when we were doing the eagles, the eagles would all go out to Springfield, Missouri, and then they would use those to produce eggs, and then we would take those and raise those and release those back out into the wild.
And so then this little guy, this is do we know if it's a boy or a girl?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know on that. I can't hold him tight enough to check it.
Yeah, he was a little bit crazy. So how old do we think that this bunny is?
He's about 5 or 6 weeks old.
Oh, wow. And you were saying that he or she will probably be released soon?
Yeah, we take him out, and we've got a lot of pasture. We've got clover in the pastures, and then we've got wood piles, you know, brush piles and things like that. And so we turn them out, and trust me, we've got tons of rabbits out there because I know they do well because we've got so many rabbits around the house there, out into the fields. What we ask people to do is if you find a nest and it's not been disturbed by your dog or your cat and your kids, leave it alone and just, you know, let Mother Nature deal with them. But if the cat or the dog gets into it, once they find a nest, they keep going back and back and back. And so then if you want to pick up the bunnies and bring them to either Skyview Animal Clinic or myself, we live so far north of here that we have people drop them off at Skyview, and then I come in and pick them up from there. But just the best thing to do is just leave them alone if at all possible.
Yeah, because I mean that's their home. That's what they know. They know the wild.
Well, yeah, the mother does a lot better job at it than we do. They're very difficult to raise, even with all the years that we've been doing it. You have a large percentage of them that just don't make it. They'll be doing great. We had a bigger one than this one that came in and was doing great, and just, you know. Next morning we get in, he's dead. We didn't know what was wrong with him. Yeah.
I feel like I'd get so attached. Is it hard to see all these animals come through? And
no, I mean, we love all the animals enough that when they're ready to go, we're ready for them to go. Right. We take them out and release them. We only have a coyote and a fox that are not able to go back out into the wild that we use for educational purposes. But other than that, we try to release everything back out into the wild as soon as it starts pacing the cages and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And the eagle I've got right now is beginning to fly from perch to perch, and so
wow.
she's about ready to go back out again. So probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll take her out.
Well, John, it sounds like you guys do such amazing things at Watkins Wildlife Rehab to get these animals back going and back in their natural habitat. I'm excited to see what this little fella will do. It seems like this bunny is kind of curious now. It's calmed down since we last pulled him out of the little box.
Yeah, he's a little stressed.
Yes, I could imagine so. Well, John, thanks so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show, too, to talk a little bit about what you guys do and this little guy. We'll be back in just a few minutes.